Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Seattle Stitcher. My name is Megan. You can find me on Instagram as Megan_Babauta_ or on Ravelry as Mamamadevm. I'll have both of those in the description box below if you're having troubles finding me. As I say, you are all very welcome here. So this week, I really didn't do very much stitching. Over the past couple weeks, I don't know what happened. I think life just kind of took over. With the summer, we go to the pool a lot more and of course, spend more time outside. I ended up switching positions and so my work life has changed drastically. And I think that's just kind of taken over. But I do have a bit of stuff to show, and I also have a lot of acquisitions to show. So I wanted to just do an episode now before I start forgetting everything, because I am forgetful enough as is. So I'm gonna go ahead and start with my starts, which this is actually kind of a restart. So you guys are very familiar now with my 32 count Pumpkin King fabric by Rogue Stitches. I believe this fabric's still available on their webpage, but I'm not 100% sure because I checked about a month or so ago. So down here, I used to have Silhouettes by Teresa Kogut starting stitching there, but I picked it all out. So let's see here. That was the weekend of the 4th. So Sunday night, I actually picked that all out, and that was not fun. 1/2 with the classic colorworks or no weeks dye works flosses. Oh gosh, it took forever. It took hours. And then by the end of the night, I was like so pooped. I didn't even want to start my new project on this fabric. My new project is this one, which is Halloween Witches Cross Stitch. Double toil treble, fire burn, and cauldron bubble. I just thought that was super cute. I loved the little witch. I love her dress. I love the cauldron. I don't know. I loved everything about it. So I decided to restart, I guess, because it's not really a restart for this project, but start a new start on this fabric after picking all that out. And picked that out Sunday night. Monday morning, which was the 4th of July, I got all of the words done. But once I finished the words, I just kind of put it away. And so last night, I re-picked it back up to start stitching the witch here. So I am really happy with this. I'm happy with the progress. I actually think this is going to be my first finish, which is the Halloween piece. Totally me though, I love Halloween. And I think I'm actually gonna frame this just in a standard little frame like that just stands on its own. That's what I'm thinking. I'm not 100% sure, but I just felt like it's so small and I'm probably not gonna have very much margin. I don't want a lot of margin, but I really do like it. And I do have a Mad for Miners needle minder on here. It's a little absinthe man, like a skeleton there. So that's super cute. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. And I think if I sit down and stitch on this weekend, I could probably finish the piece, which will be really fun. So yeah, I like that a lot. That one's been very fun. And I'm stitching that 2/2 with Anchor Black thread, which is showing up really nicely. Super happy with the coverage and everything. And the stitches look really nice. They just look, yeah, they look nice. The next project is the only other cross-stitching project that I actually worked on this past 2 weeks. How terrible is that? And that is Summer Quakers by Rosewood Manor. And you guys know the Museum Stitcher and I, Bridget, we are stitching this as a stitch along. So I'll have the hashtag here on the screen, but Summer Quakers Sal. So just the title plus Sal is the hashtag, and you can hashtag us on Instagram. I will say though, if your page is private, then even if you're using the hashtag, no one will be able to see it besides your own followers. So if I'm not following you, if Bridget's not following you, we wouldn't be able to see that you're using it. So just a heads up in case you're wondering why we're not interacting. I do try to interact with everyone that I see using it. And then I'm using the called for fabric, which is 28 count truffle, and the called for Valdani flosses, which I still need to put on floss drops. I keep on telling myself like, okay, you're gonna put them on floss drops, and then I just don't. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure you guys can see it. Hopefully you can. I love this piece. It's so pretty. I love the variegation in the flosses. It's just lovely. It's beautiful. And when I go back here, I have this light, this like I don't know, it's almost like a rainbow light, and so it arches so it doesn't create a shadow, and it gets a pretty good cast for the color. You can see it's like actually a pretty light peachy pink with a lot of modeling. That's pretty spot on. So it's a bit more pink in person, but I do really, really like this. I just think it looks so fun and like so summery. I love these little birds. And then I have this on an 11 by 11 Q-snap. The grind guard is from my L&S Thread Needle Street. The little needle minder is from Ginger Snap Stitches, but I actually ordered that off of Amazon because the seller doesn't ship to the United States off of their Etsy. Otherwise I would have ordered from the Etsy. I think I just randomly found it on Amazon, and so I purchased it there. And then when I went to go and link for the Etsy, I realized, oh, they don't actually sell to the States on Etsy. So yeah, it's like a little tarot card, but it says the Stitcher. It's so hard to see because it's obviously shiny, but that's super cute, right? I love it. So yeah, and then this is in my Made by Me bag. So yeah, I'm happy with that. It's been fun. That is the only other project that I got any kind of progress on this week. And I'll just hop into my knitting. The only other knitting that I got done was I finished the second sock for Alexis. I already have this all bundled up because I'm gonna be shipping this off to her. I'll insert a picture. I think I have one when I was soaking the socks, so they are in like my sink, but I didn't take a picture after I was done soaking them. I'm terrible. But I just include a little packet of soak because they are a wool nylon blend, so technically you can just go ahead and throw them in the washing machine, even dry them in the washer, no big deal. They will shrink up a little bit, but after you wear them, they'll turn back out. I always do this though. Anytime I send anyone anything that's hand knit, I include a little packet of soak. And I do really recommend this brand. You just use a tiny pinch of it and it works wonders. It's great for any kind of wool products, because wool, if you use like your average, like say you use Tide or whatever, you know, for your washing machine, well, that can actually over time really deteriorate the wool, just the staple of the fiber and the way that the pH or whatever, you know, I don't know if it's like the acidity of the product, but something about it really does tear down the wool. So anywho, I always include a packet of soak. So she's got a packet of soak, a card, and her socks. And now I can finally ship those off to her because I've been like holding on to them, waiting for myself to film. So that is actually really it when it comes to my stitching and my knitting. Like I said, I switched jobs, and that was like kind of random on my part. I didn't think that I was going to leave the company that I was working at, but I ended up just being really unhappy with the work that I was doing. I wasn't happy with it. And so I decided it was time for a change, and now I am a finance manager for a car lot. I'm excited about the change, but it is of course a lot of learning to do. So with that, it's kind of taken over a lot of my life. That being said though, that means that when I don't have time to stitch, apparently I am shopping online. So I just am going to hop right in with my acquisitions. So buckle up, people. If you are not here for acquisitions, or maybe you're on a no buy, whatever it may be, I totally understand. I need to go on one of those myself. So if that is you and you're not interested in sticking around, then thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. I am going to have a giveaway, so I'm actually going to insert the giveaway here. I don't even know if I brought over the pattern, so I'm going to insert a picture here. This is Pink Hill Manor, and I am going to be giving away this pattern. So if you are interested in this pattern, just leave the word pink, P-I-N-K, pink. So anywhere in your comment, even if it's just one word, and of course, just be a subscriber of my channel, be over the age of 18. This holds no monetary value, so if it gets lost in the mail, it gets lost, my apologies. And I will use the YouTube like comment generator to get that picked out the next time I film. I might wait a couple of episodes just to make sure there's enough people who can enter and get a chance to see, but yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy that. Because I actually have a copy of that pattern and I forgot that I did, so I needed to give away my double. So I'm gonna move right on into acquisitions. So I ordered a couple pieces of fabric off of Etsy. This is from Jackson Fiber Arts. Oh Lordy, can you see how bright that is? I swear it's not that bright. Okay, can you tell it's not that bright? No girl, that's gonna look bright wherever I put it. So I ordered, this is the colorway SOL, and it is a bit darker than this in person, but it's like the perfect bright pumpkin orange. And I just thought to myself, what better than to stitch my silhouettes on this super fun tie-dye orange fabric. The seller shipped out so quickly. It got here super fast. The shipping, the like packaging was adorable. She wrote a really nice note inside of the package. Her tags are really nice and it's very clear to read what, you know, what was in the package. She also included a piece of a sample for her other fabrics, which this is London Fog. I definitely am gonna get a piece of that. It's beautiful. So I just love that. I'm super, super satisfied with this seller. Again, this is from Jackson Fabric Arts, and this is a 32 count, 100% organic hemp linen. So I'm super happy with that. This is what I'm planning to restitch my silhouettes on. I just think it'll show up so well, and it'll be really fun for other Halloween projects. Like, can you imagine like a purple potion bottle on this, or like a cauldron, just like smalls even. So I ordered a larger piece so I could stitch up a few different things on it, but I'm super happy with this. I mean, that's a pretty good representation of the color there. So cool, I love this. So yeah, that one was my first fabric. My next fabric, you guys know I love Picture This Plus. This is a 28 count, 18 by 27 cut of Haunted. That's a pretty good representation of the color. I just really like that modeling, and I picked up one pattern, so I feel like that's pretty good. I went to see Denise at Threadneedle Street, and I only ended up purchasing one pattern. So I think I'm finally getting to the point where I realize I actually just want to kit up the patterns I have in stash, and I would rather get those started. So yeah, there is my next piece of fabric. You can tell I was kind of on a fabric kick. I need more fabric stash though, as weird as that seems. I just don't have very much of it. I have a few pieces, but not a lot, so I wanted to add to it. This is a 40 count piece of Atomic Ranch weathered stone. Sorry, I had to think about that. I thought this was a good neutral. It's slightly more pink almost in person. You can see the gray throughout, but it almost has like a pinky undertone to it. And I just thought that would be beautiful for a sampler, or like maybe a Halloween piece or a spring piece. It was just a really good basic, a good neutral. And so I wanted to pick that up. And the modeling on it is just lovely. So I'm really happy with that. Again, that's a 40 count weathered stone by Atomic Ranch. The next pieces of fabric, so I'm kind of disappointed with these. So these are $28 a piece, and they are two of the same from Primitive Hair. I don't know if this is called Old Salem or if that's like a line that the person carries, but the one thing that I am unhappy with is I was kind of expecting this to be like maybe a fat quarter, or not a fat quarter, but a fat eighth or something for 28 bucks, right? It's not, it's this big, it's so tiny. So it's a really small piece of fabric. And besides that, it's not serged, so you need to do all the serging yourself. And you cannot soak this because it'll lose the aged effect, which is why I purchased it. Of course, the aged effect is amazing. But since you can't soak it, as you can see, this is very folded. So I'm kind of trying to figure out how I'm going to get this to not be so like, you know, folded. I don't know if I could steam it, because obviously using the steam is gonna produce water, and I'm worried that if I put too much steam onto it, that it'll kind of like wash out some of the what do you call that? Some of the muddled, like modeling effect that's on the fabric. So I don't know, I bought these thinking that I was going to stitch a pair of patterns on them, and those ones that I purchased ended up not working out. So I'll just keep these around probably for a sampler or Halloween piece, whatever. It's a 30 count, so it's definitely a bigger weave, but I'm really happy. Like, they're really pretty. I'm just not sure if I would again purchase this like $28, you know, like that piece of Haunted from Picture This Plus, which was quite large. That piece was 26 bucks, you know, so just maybe not the best decision. But I'm still going to use it. The next one, I'm not going to show the company here. This is a piece of Endora. This is a fat quarter. Again, not serged. I don't know, maybe I'm just spoiled with all these Picture This Plus fabrics, but. So this one, it took 3 months to get to me. And when I messaged the seller, I emailed them asking about where my order was. It then shipped out the next day, which makes me kind of think that maybe they forgot about my order. But outside of that, they never actually responded to my email. And the only reason I even know what's going on with this seller is because some of their followers actually, I posted to my Instagram story just curious about like how long people's orders had usually taken. And a few of the person's followers, or maybe people who've ordered from them in the past, responded and let me know that things take a while, and the person was recently sick and all that stuff. But yeah, I don't know, 3 months of a wait for this fabric. I just don't think I'll wait that long for a piece of fabric again. Because I kind of felt like, almost like my order was forgotten about. But anyways, it is what it is, right? The next piece I purchased is a 36 count fawn. This is a 27 by 36 cut. Again, nice and serged. And I just thought this is so pretty. I really love the color. It's almost like a pinky, beigey, just perfect neutral. You can see I was in the mood for neutrals. I was really going in thinking, you know, I've got a ton of pieces at home, like a ton of patterns at home that need a good neutral fabric. And I thought this is just lovely. Love it. So, so, so pretty. So I'm really happy with that. And I love it, Denise. She's willing to cut these down for you, but I may only make it out there about once a month because it's a little bit of a drive for me. And because of that, I knew that I was like, okay, I'm not gonna make it back out here for a while. I just will take the whole piece. So again, I did that here, which is a 27 by 36 cut, a 32 count Heartland, another PTP fabric. Let's see. So this one is more warm toned, I would say, like more yellow based. And here is that. Again, fully serged. Just beautiful. I love, love, love. The modeling on this is just beautiful. I'm super happy with this piece. I have a few different things in mind to stitch on here, but yeah, I'm obsessed. This is just beautiful. I'm glad I ended up just purchasing the whole piece. Totally worth it, great deal. Just lovely. So my next acquisition, I was watching Kitschy Whips. If you don't watch her, please do, she's amazing. Definitely go show some love and support over there, she's wonderful. So I was watching her and she had shown these patterns and said that she would just send them to whoever wanted them because she had the idea to stitch them, but for Halloween. I didn't want to comment on it to have her send them to me because I was like, you know, I'll just, hopefully someone who like can't get a hold of them, or maybe someone who doesn't want to pay like a crazy amount for shipping because they live outside of the States, whatever it may be. I went on Etsy and I found a seller and I bought them. So the seller was selling them together. So this is Laddie and Lacey, and they are my creepy babies, or so I'm calling them, very lovingly though. So with these two guys, I am doing just like what Kitschy Whips had suggested, and I'm making them Halloween pieces. I did pick up some Aida, which is like the first time since I very first started stitching that I picked up Aida, but these are stitched on Aida. And I was thinking initially that I might stitch them on linen, but I found, I think it's called Barnwood or Barn Door by PTP, and I thought, ooh, that'll be wonderful. And I do like the way they look on the Aida. And Aida stitching is awesome. It's so nice to stitch on Aida. So yeah, I wanted to go ahead and just pick them up. I am going to be probably going, well, I don't know. Their skin tone is so light and the fabric I picked is quite dark. So I might not even have to lighten up their skin, but I might darken or deepen up the clothing, and then I might deepen up their hair. But honestly, they're so creepy looking. I don't even need to change a thing. I am going to take out the geese, as you can see, very 80s, and do the mud puddle red so it looks like blood. And then she's either gonna be holding like a skull like this or a head like this. Or so I've decided. I have to figure out what's easiest to chart. And then I'm going to omit the duck and the lead and go ahead and just insert a knife. That's what I'm thinking. And then again, it's gonna be red puddle instead of brown, like instead of the brown dirt. So they are gonna be a bit creepier, but honestly, like I said, you could leave the geese and literally stitch them as is and hang them up at Halloween and someone would be like, that's a cool Halloween decoration. Somewhere out there is someone who had these in like their childhood bedroom and their grandma stitched them for them and they're like, they're not creepy. The next thing I picked up is actually the only pattern that I picked up while I was out there visiting Denise. This is Something Wicked This Way Comes. And this is from Autumn Lane. Yeah, Autumn Lane. She picked these up in Nashville as well. I think I've seen this on 123 Stitch. I'm pretty sure I have it in my cart, and I have had it in my cart for a while. I just love this. It is so cute. This is what I picked up the 28 count Haunted for, and that's the called for fabric, and I did kit it up while I was there. So I got the fabric and I got the flosses. So I got those. I really love this piece. It kind of reminds me of some of the Prairie Schoolers, because the Prairie Schoolers, they kind of have this outline look and theme. So I thought that'll work out great with the pieces that I have going. So I got that in my very fancy project bag. You guys know I love those Amazon bags. Well, I ran out, so I ordered some yesterday. They'll be here tomorrow. But for now, I got a Ziploc. So I ordered my Lavender and Lace Mother's Tree, and that came into the mail for me. And I do have all of my maternal line. I've got all the names that I need. You guys have seen my Nessie by Picture This Plus fabric from Hollis Hands Creates. I just realized she has a YouTube channel as well, so I'll go ahead and link her below because she is amazing. The shop is on like a little vacation right now, but love her. Probably like my favorite person to order fabric from. Such good shipping. So with that, I knew I wanted to change the colors. So what I decided was to do silk. So this is Gloriana in the shade Pacific Blue Dark. So that is my first silk option. My second base, because I got quite a few of them, I actually grabbed all that she had left because I didn't know how much I was gonna need. And then with that, I'm gonna use a Vera Soie, and this is the shade 165. So it's very dark blue. I'll insert a picture because it almost looks black, but it's a very, very dark blue. Let me see. Yeah, you just can't see it. So both are silks, but this is Gloriana and this is a Vera Soie. But I am really happy with the grouping of these. And my tree, I picked up a whole hank of a Vera Soie in 4138, which is just a very deep shade of like chocolate brown. Because I thought, you know, even though I'll probably have a lot left over of that, because I'm just planning to stitch it 1/2, that'd be a great color for hair, for skin, for so much, because it's beautiful. Like the chocolate, when it shines, oh, love it. So I don't mind if I have extras. I will say though, Denise, she sells them by 1 meter threads. So these are all pre-cut for me, which is like actually awesome. But I just purchased everything she had left. These are 45 meter hanks. And I think that I was at like 39. So it was almost an entire hank of a Vera Soie, but these are so soft and just lovely. I'm super excited to start this project. Again, if I can't get a good representation of the color on screen, I'll just insert a picture, but boy, are they just beautiful. I love it. So yeah, I've got that one kitted up and ready to start. Can't wait to start that one, honestly. My next one is, I picked this up, Lavender and Lace. Gosh, what is he called? The Spirit of Christmas. I just thought this was so cute. I don't know why. His like chunky little belly and his beard resting on it. The wreath, I loved it. So I picked that up, and to go with him, I am stitching him on a 36 count natural linen. So I just picked up like a small 18 by 18 piece. He's actually a lot smaller than that. He's only a 10 by 10, but just a nice natural. I thought everything will pop on that. It'll look nice. And I like I don't know what brand or what kind of linen this is, but Denise has a bunch of this just, you know, like linen. And she has a whole wall where it's all nicely packed in individual like large plastic bags. And she has some of it pre-cut. This one was one of the ones that was pre-cut, but yeah, I don't know if it's like a house brand, just Red Needle Street or what, but it's really nice linen. I have a work in progress right now on a piece of it in the colorway Amber, and it's working out great. But I thought that was really similar to the called for, as you can see. The called for is a Witchell's sandalwood, but I really don't like Witchell's fabric. And then these are all the called for DMCs, which I cannot believe there's this many freaking colors in here. I totally forgot to get the cry neck though, because there is a little bit of cry neck. He's holding like a sparkly kind of wand there. You can barely see it on that Witchell, so I'm hoping it shows up a bit better because it's a bit lighter. So I ordered the cry neck, and that'll be here from 1, 2, 3 Stitch, so it'll be here pretty quickly. So that was my next one. The next thing, like I said, I really wanted to just kit things up. So my Teresa Kogut Come to the Garden. This is a stitch along that I saw on Instagram, and right when I saw the pattern, I was like, I need to buy that. So pretty. Yeah, so I love this, and I went ahead and I purchased all of the called fors. So this is quite a mix: Classic Colorworks, Weeks Dye Works, and DMCs. I don't know how I feel about one pattern taking so many different brands of flosses. I feel like it's like really inconvenient because, so for instance, if I go out to my LNS, DMCs are 10 to 20 cents more expensive than my local box stores, but it's the only place where in person I can grab Classic Colorworks and Weeks Dye Works. So when I'm out there, I always grab my Classic Colorworks and Weeks Dye Works, and then I try to pick up DMCs from other stores if I can. A lot of the time though, because I'm really lazy and I don't want to stop at another store, I just pick them up from my LNS. Even though they're a little bit more expensive, I'd rather support the LNS anyways. So sorry, that's super loud. And again, I've got more bags coming, so I won't have these in plastic bags any longer. But I've got that one. My next acquisition, these are my favorite needles, just some John James needles in my most used sizes, which are 26 and 28s, because I already had a pack of 24s. So those are there. I also picked up, so I pulled out some Christmas pieces because, as you guys know, Christmas in July is going on right now. Sorry, Amira's in the room with us, so she came over and gave me a high five. So I pulled out my Christmas at Hollyberry Farm, and I realized that I might be able to start that one for my Christmas in July. Well, I was going in and actually read the pattern, and it calls for walnut to be the roof of the farm itself, and she ended up saying that she had charted this so many years ago that now Carriage Black is actually a better shade to be comparable to the cover. And I really did like the cover photo, so I went ahead and picked up a Carriage Black from Denise, and then I wasn't able to find Manor Red when I was kitting it up, so I did find some with Denise, and I picked up Manor Red. I had replaced Manor Red with Brick, which I will say is very, very comparable, but I figured, well, if I can find it, I'll kit it up, and I did, so I went ahead and just got both of those. So these will be placed into my Christmas at Hollyberry Farm piece, and I don't know if I'm gonna start it, but you know, I'm thinking about it. The next thing I picked up was just this cute little needle minder. I don't know what it's supposed to be. I thought it looked like a haunted house, so that's why I bought it. I don't know the brand. I don't know if the brand is Accoutrement or what. Accoutrement Designs, maybe? But I see that like the top is cut off, and I don't really feel like taking it out of the baggie, so there's that. And then I picked up another 11 by 11 Q snap because these are my favorite. I love the size of it, and yeah, I don't know, I feel like it's a good price at my LNS. And the only other thing I have is the pattern I couldn't find. So this is my giveaway for this week. Pink Hill Manor. Again, just P-I-N-K is the word you need to use, pink. And again, do not use anything like giveaway, nothing like that, you know, the normal shebang. So if you are interested in this pattern, just comment the word pink below. I'm willing to ship it anywhere that I can. I know not everywhere is gonna be open to shipping, but I'll ship it anywhere I can. So yeah, thank you, so much for sticking with me and listening to my rambles per usual. I'm sorry I just don't have very much to work on this week, but I will say I'm planning to get tons of stitching done this weekend if I can. Hopefully I'll finish my my Halloween stitch. I think that'd be a fun finished object. Yeah, with life stuff though, like I was saying, I ended up switching jobs. I left the company that I've been at for the past 2 years to move on to just a little bit of a better management position. Finance managers, you can move on to a lot of different things from there, and so I felt like it was a better opportunity for me in my career. So I did just that. I was an office manager prior, and now I am a finance manager. And that's been really fun, a lot of learning. So last week was my first day, Wednesday was my first day, and that's been interesting.
And you're gonna go to Apple Station.
Amira says we're gonna go to Apple Station, which is Applebee's. So that is a life update. She loves Applebee's. I don't know why, okay. It's like the worst food, but she loves it. So whatever, cheap food, better for me. More money for my stitching.
More money for my stitching.
Yeah, see, she agrees. So yeah, that's been pretty much the biggest life update for me, and probably why I haven't gotten much progress done. I kind of fell into a slump too. I just didn't feel like stitching. It's always kind of, it's testy to change positions and change jobs. I'm pretty young. I mean, I'm only in my 20s, so it's not like I need to have a career, but I always want to push myself to do better and be better, and I think this is a good move. My husband, his work's been going really well. Knock on wood, right? But he's been really liking his new position. I don't know if you guys remember when I very first started Flosstube, I had mentioned that we'd both gotten promotions this year, and so it's just crazy. It's been a crazy year. But it's been a fun one nonetheless, and I just wouldn't know where I'd be without him and Amira. Like, they're my everything, of course. They're family. They're my everything. They're my home. Wherever they are is my home. So that's pretty much all my life updates. It's a pretty big one for me. Changing jobs has been crazy, but it's good. So I've been enjoying it, and I think this week what I'm going to do is show you guys some more books. So my next section is going to be my books, and I will go ahead and insert a clip at the end here. So again, thanks for watching, and subscribe, like, leave me a comment, and stick around if you are interested in books. Have a nice day. Bye. All right, so everyone who sticks around for the book segments, I pulled out a few this week. So I have 4 books here, and I binge watched Becoming Elizabeth last night and decided I'm still gonna keep on my theme of the Tudors and Elizabeth, but this week I wanted to add in her mother, because in the episode, I wanna say it's the episode where it's her birthday, she pulls out the Anne Boleyn necklace. And of course that jewel has been long lost. I don't believe that we know the whereabouts of where it is or what it ever got remade into, if that's what did happen, which I'm sure it is. But I wanted to pull out a few Anne Boleyn books. So here is another one. And this says, Anne Boleyn has been sold to us as a dark figure, a scheming seductress who bewitched Henry VIII into divorcing his queen and his church in an unprecedented display of passion. Quite the tragic love story, right? Wrong. This electrifying expose by Haley Nolan explores for the first time the full uncensored evidence of Anne Boleyn's life and relationship with Henry VIII, revealing the shocking suppression of a powerful woman. So leave all notions of outdated and romanticist folklore at the door and forget what you think you know about one of the Tudors' most notorious queens. She may have been silenced for centuries, but this urgent book ensures Anne Boleyn's voice is being heard now. Sorry, I wanted to read the back because I thought it's just so interesting, and I have heard some people say it's kind of like one of those love or hate books. One of the things is that she's kind of very preachy about her opinion on Anne Boleyn and what she's looked into historically with Anne Boleyn. So some people don't like that, you know? I mean, history can always be taken with a grain of salt, and it can be hard sometimes to listen to someone talking to you as if it were fact when in truth we don't know. So I know not everyone loves this book, but I really enjoyed it. I like her take on it. I agree with her take on it. That's that. Next one is a Philippa Jones book. I thought this one would be really fun. It's a little bit of a lighter read. If you guys know anything about Philippa Jones, her books are just great. And I love this portraiture of her. And can we just say how great the actress is? Like, wow, good casting. I mean, look at that portrait, and then go look up the casting for Elizabeth, for Becoming Elizabeth, is just amazing. The next one, another Anne Boleyn. So Anne Boleyn, A New Life of England's Tragic Queen. Again, just another outlook of Anne, because we do look at her with a very outdated perspective. So yeah, this one's good. And last but not least, I couldn't remember if I pulled this one out last week or not, but it is a really good one. Alison Weir is my absolute favorite author and historian, The Life of Elizabeth. So those are my book recommendations for this week. I'm sure you guys are just sick and tired of hearing about Elizabeth, but what can I say? She's a very fascinating woman. Next week, I'll probably dive into some other members of her family, and hopefully you guys enjoy, and maybe you'll pick some of this up. Definitely check out Thrift Books if you are planning to pick up any of those, because that is the site where I purchase almost all of my books. I mean, books are expensive. I like hardbacks, and I mean, like this book here, I got off of 123, and 123. Oh my gosh, I'm thinking about my stitching. This book I got off of Thrift Books, and it was maybe 10 bucks. So definitely a very affordable way to get your books. So thanks for watching, guys. Again, like and subscribe, and have a wonderful week. Man, I've restarted this intro like, I don't know, 6 times. You know, I filmed during nap time, and Amira, cheers. All right.